Hello, it's Trisha from Huntress Habits, and I am going to show you a Cuttlebug Rosette kit and how to make it with your Cuttlebug, and a little tip about the glue. And since it's 4th of July, I did red, white, and, well, actually I did red, blue, and cream. But that's okay. We got the point across, red, white, and blue. So let's get started. I'm using the 12-inch plates. Let's turn it around. I have the A plate, the magnetic plate, and 2 B plates. One that I use that's going to get cut up, and I try to keep the other one flat. As you can see, I've been cutting quite a few on these, and also spending a little time gluing. And fortunately, I had the help of my granddaughter yesterday, so we had fun doing it. And what I'm going to show you, I'll actually cut one just to give you an idea. But this kit from Cuttlebug creates, have I got a wire in the way? Let me make sure I haven't. Looks like I might have had a wire in the way. So we're going to get rid of that. Sorry about the shakiness. I'd rather you shake just a little bit, you know. It always burns a few calories when you shake. Okay. Cuttlebug. It's the Crown Rosette kit. And you're going to find it in your Cuttlebug accessories. Now when you open this up, you're going to have a rosette. That is an example. And on the back side, they have one that, a little die that comes like this, and then just a round circle that you could cut out, but you could put a butterfly on there, because all of that is cut out with your Cuttlebug. So let's put the boxes aside, and let's put all these rosettes aside. Still within reach, but off the screen so I can work on the Cuttlebug. I must tell you though, since we were doing 4th of July, we decided instead of doing butterflies, we cut out some stars with my CRICUT, and then we embossed them. I don't have many left. But we used some glitter embossing that I had made with some clear embossing, and they came out pretty good. And that's for another video. But you could actually just cut them out of the paper. We just wanted them to sparkle a little bit. Or you could use glitter paper. Okay. I kept these unfolded so I could show you how to glue a few tricks with the glue. But then I decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and cut one. It comes with 2 plates. And they've got a sponge topping. But they're it's a plastic background, or backing, but they will cut because there's a plate in there. So let me show you how that works. We're just going to do one today. Let's get our Cuttlebug over here where you can see it a little bit better and where I can wind it. When I put this down, it stays stable. If it moves, it's because my Tim Holtz glass mat, media mat, moves. And I use, with my A plate, I use the 12-inch magnetic sheet. And that way you can tell there's metal in it because it really, well, now I may not be able to get it up without using something, without bending or something. There we go. Okay, then I put down my flat mat, the one I try to keep flat. Then I'm going to put down the cutting. See, it doesn't matter which way I put it. This is actually a different paper than what I used. I had to go through my scraps to find one. And then you put this one on top. Fit it in there, and you're just going to do a little bit more cranking. Notice how that handle has a little place where it fits in, so you're not always hitting it. Okay, here we go. And because I've used this so much, I may have to start putting a shim in it. But I'm going to run it back through. It looks like it cut real good, but we're just going to... Oh, it's cut good. I don't need to run it back through. No need, no need. Okay, let's put this out of the way. You can see the big difference in the sizes of the plates. You want to use your 12-inch, and I waited until they went on sale before I purchased mine. So know that that will happen. Okay, get this one back, take it off. And then we've got that little butterfly that I can always use at a later date. Take my paper off, and then I'll set these aside. I have a special drawer that I put those in. Okay. Now, this one that I just cut is this one that's on the back. Now, if you didn't like that glue, what I'm planning on doing is putting it on a ribbon and hanging them that way instead of hanging them down. You could put this on the back. It cuts out when you cut these two. When you cut use the other plate, these cut out like that, and this will cut with it. So you'll have that with your strip. When I first started cutting them, I did the strips of paper. They were 12 inches, of course, by 2 1/4. But I made sure I got them on there straight each time. If you're not sure you're going to get them on there straight, you could make them 3 inches and put them side by side on your plate and still have plenty of room to feed it through. Okay, this is the bottom. Then this is the next one. And then this is the top one. And it looks like this when you get it glued together. The paper round. But now you don't have to put all 3 on there. You could just do 2. And that's what I did with this one. But I want to show you a secret. And so instead of doing the one that I cut today, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And I'm doing the largest one because it will fold the quickest. And you probably will see it better. We'll go ahead and get those out of the way too. And I'm going to pull over a stamping block. I'm also going to take this mat right here and move it sideways just so you can see it better. When Tim designed this, he made this where it was non-stick. So whether it's made out of silicone or whatever, it's got a light adhesive on this side so it'll stick down to the glass. And I use it for the glue. Now, while I was talking, I meant to have this down. I use a T-pin in the end of my glue. Works wonderful. I'm going to put a glob of paint. I paint. Okay, anyway, a glob of glue there. This is a matte glue. It's Scott Create Permanent Tacky Glue. It's photo safe. I know a lot of people use a lot of different kinds. I've been using this one right now. My personal favorite is Soho, the brand Soho. I'll show you what it looks like. Got all different sizes of this. It's also a fabric glaze glue, and so I kind of stick it back. It's a little bit higher quality, I think, than this, but I need a tacky glue for this. I need it to get tacky right now. So we're going to hold it in front of the fan just for a second, which I meant to cut off so it wouldn't be quite so noisy. And now the air conditioner turns on. Sorry about the noise, guys. Okay, still fairly wet. Let's see, what do I have around here I can fan it with real quick? As we're fanning it, you might want to be thinking about other ways that you would use this kit, the rosettes. I'm thinking birthday parties, or attach them to a stick and put them in a cake or cupcakes. You could use this little tiny one and maybe put the person's initial or the year on it and stick it in a cupcake. All sorts of ways. And they're fun to make, and the kids can do it. You know, it's not something that you have to be right on top of. Once they get the hang of it, they enjoy watching the paper move around. Now, while I'm waiting on that, I should have been gluing this too. Lordy, you can tell it's late at night. But the temperature here in Texas has been getting up to 100. And during the day, that air conditioner blows, blows, blows. And it gets fairly hot out here without the fan and the air conditioner going. And of course, with just me, I don't mind both of them running. But you can't make videos with all that noise going on. Okay, now did you see what I did? I wanted to make sure this was continuous, but I wanted these to overlap inside each other. I did that with all of them. I put the glue on the inside, and then instead of being back to back like this, I made them loop over each other, if that makes sense. That will make them just a little bit more stable. Now, that ought to be tacky enough by now. It's a little difficult sometimes to get it. I'm going to hold it where it's been glued just to make sure it doesn't come apart. To get it to lay down just right with this big one. The other ones are not that much of a problem. But I don't want to tear up these little circles on the ends. And of course, since I'm demonstrating, that's when it's going to mess up the most. So, we're going to do it this way. We're going to lay this one down flat, pull this out, and it's really a good thing to make mistakes and have trouble doing this one so that I can show you other ways to do it. I've seen actually people demonstrating putting the rosettes together, and they just fold down so easily. But how would you know to do it any other way if it's not going to fold down nice? So, you just take one at a time and get it going in the right direction. Now, because this one is made the way it is, see where these folds are? They're meant to fold out like this. Now once you get it in this position, take it and hold it together enough to place it directly over that glob of glue. Now, I sit here for a few minutes with my fingers. And I let it sit, and I could talk and talk until it's glued. But in actuality, if you've got some coordination, you could take this and center it on top of it and let that be enough of a weight and let it set for about 20 minutes and you've got it. It's going to dry right here to where you don't have to sit here and hold it. And I did that with each one of these. So I'd glue one and go off and do something else. Now these little ones have more bends. I'm hoping I'm on camera, but see how easily that went? Now if I push it together, can you see? That one's going to bend right down on some glue. Now, but because it is so small, what I would do sometimes when making these, I'd put the glue down in the center instead of putting it down there first and letting it get tacky. And then I would sit here and wait for about possibly 2-3 minutes and then put something weighted on top of it. Even the bottle of glue works. As long as it's gotten enough to where it's all tacky together. Okay, that's about all I wanted to show you. After you get them glued like this, you just place them, stack them together, gluing them. And then I put this weight back on them after I put the star on it and let it sit there while I go do something else and come back and it's done. Now, if you're unsure about kids using this type of glue, find something that's going to stick a little bit faster. You might even do a glue gun, depending on the age. But because I was dealing with some so small, and there are embossing folders that will emboss this entire sheet to make large rosettes. Sometimes you have to emboss 2 in order to do it. And that would be another video. So, have a great 4th of July, and I will see you in the next video. It's homemade by Huntress Habits.